Hello again and welcome to Ndudu by Fafa.
Hello everyone, thank you again for joining me. My name is Fafa Gilbert and I'm the chef for Ndudu by Fafa. I love creative African cooking and I love adding my own twist. This is a channel you really want to be on. Now today on the menu, let me see, what am I going to do?
And today on the menu, I do have the ever so classic and delicious tilapia soup or fish soup, depending on what fish you prefer to use for this. But this is a must-try recipe and it's absolutely delicious, especially now that the weather is a little bit on the chilly side. It's a must-try. And here you have the list of ingredients that you will need to make this delicious soup. You can find the transcript as well as the list of ingredients and measurements on my blog ndudubyfafa.blogspot.com. You will find equally inspiring recipes on my blog as well, so do check it out. Let's start cooking. So here I do have my tilapia that I'm actually taking the fins and the gills off. You can get your fishmonger to actually gut the fish and also do the dressing for you. They did do that, but I left the gills and the fins, and I'm actually just using the scissors to get rid of that because I just think it's unsightly and I don't particularly like that in my soup. So I'm taking all those things off, and now that my fish is ready, I'm actually just going to cut it into 4 little beautiful sizes, and I'm going to start making my soup. This is an easy and straightforward soup to make. All you do need are the ingredients, to add that flavor to it. Now, naturally, because the tilapia is actually frozen, I need to spice it as well. So I have got my classic ingredients here. I've got my ginger, my habanero chili, aniseed, and an onion. I'm going to blend everything together, and I'm actually going to be using half of that to marinate my fish whilst I actually prepare my stew. Now, the reason why I'm actually marinating my fish first is because it's frozen fish. It's not as fresh as you would get back home in Ghana, where it's like freshly caught and the flavor alone is just incredible. So I like to do this, especially with frozen fish, just to actually add that little flavor to it and also just to revive it a little bit. So that's why I'm actually doing this. So whilst my fish is marinating, I'm going to start with the soup. So I've just added some vegetable oil to a pan on a medium heat, and I'm actually scooping 2 tablespoonfuls of my ginger blend, which has my ginger, habanero chili, onion, as well as aniseed. And I'm frying this gently just for about a minute. This is to allow the flavors to infuse into the oils. And then after that, I'm actually going to add my tomato paste. Yet again, I'm actually infusing the flavors. So I'm frying the tomato paste. Usually you notice that I'd add a little bit of water, but no, I've opted out of that today because it's like a shabu shabu soup really. So I'm actually just frying that mixture together so that it's actually thicker. Obviously it's a little bit thick, but it will be thick and it will be fried, and you can see that the oil just starts to separate. Then I know that my mixture is actually ready for me to add my blended tomatoes. So I made this dish midweek, and the reason why I could was because I'd actually pre-blended my tomatoes earlier on in the week and actually boiled it so that it became a little bit thicker, so I had to reduce the water content. So that's a very good tip for you to actually do as well. You can reserve it in the freezer or you can reserve it in the fridge and use it as and when a recipe does require tomatoes. So this, I'm going to scoop a little bit of that to my tomato paste mixture right now and cook this further. So this is cutting the cooking time in half really. So at this point, mix everything together and fry gently for about 2 to 3 minutes. This is just to warm up the tomatoes and as well as allow some infusion to take place. So at this point, you do have a flavor-packed thick sauce, which is just perfect as a base for your soup. Now what I'm actually going to do is add my tilapia pieces at this stage. So bearing in mind I'd also marinated the tilapia in my marinade of aniseed, ginger, habanero, chili and onion. So now I'm actually just adding the tomatoes and I'm just going to gently fry it just for about a minute. It's yet again to allow this infusion to take place, because that's all this is about. When you're cooking, it's about infusion, is to allow the infusion to take place naturally. So cooking on a low to medium heat is paramount. So you don't overcook things, you cook it just perfectly. So the flavors, flavor, that's how it works. So at this point, you can use fish stock, which is imperative. What I've actually done is just rinsed the plate that actually had the marinated tilapia in. So that whole flavor is actually just coming through. And I have got my fish stock here, which is packed with flavors, and I'm actually just adding that to it. So I'm actually literally making my soup. This is how easy this is, You can find fish stock from your local fishmongers. Alternatively, when they do fillet your fish, you can ask them to reserve the bones for you, and you can actually just take it home, obviously, and you just boil it. Boil it for about 5 minutes and leave it to simmer for about 2 minutes. You can add a little bit of onion, some ginger, a little bit of aniseed, and just leave it to just infuse. And that's it. That's how easy it is to actually make your fish stock. So do try that. So at this point, I think I'm actually going to add a little bit more of my fish stock, because I don't want it to be too light. I need just perfectly thick, but not too thick either. So the consistency is also one that, it's easy for you to have with your banku. So I would say double cream consistency is the best option. So we're almost there now with our soup, and I'm going to leave it to simmer. So yet again on a medium heat, and I'm going to allow this beautiful mixture to just simmer gently for another 7 to 8 minutes. This is yet again to allow some infusion to take place. This is just going to be incredible. So of course I'm going to trap in that steam, so you do cover it with its lid. And it looks like it's boiling just perfectly. This other stage has just got about another 2 minutes and it's almost done. This is where I'm going to be adding my shenanigans. What, did you think that was it? Nah. So now I'm actually going to be adding my petit belle chilies, or bakbushito as it's known, to it, of course, for the garnish, for the flavor as well, and it just looks beautiful. And I'm just going to stir this. Now, the reason why this soup is actually quite straightforward and easy to make was because, I cut that cooking time in half by pre-boiling their tomatoes. So at this point, I'm just going to add my salt to taste. Now salt, the amount of salt you add is to your personal preference. I don't like too much salt, so you notice that I actually do limit the amount of salt I use in my dishes, but you can include more. Now, of course, when it's almost done, this is where I'm actually reviving the freshness of that flavor by slicing some onions, and they're beautiful and chunky. And also this also thickens the soup up. So if, let's say, by mistake, you've added a little bit too much water or your stock, this is actually a good trick to actually have. You can actually just add a whole onion, steam it, and then you can blend it, and that would be a perfect thickener. Now, of course, I'm actually adding my basil for that beautiful scented soup. So tomatoes and basil, they're always best friends. And of course, I want them to, get engaged and married into this pot again. Now you can see what I mean by the shenanigans. So I'm just warming everything through. So I'm just going to simmer this for about a minute. And guess what? My soup is ready. Chale my banku deo. So you can find the recipe for the Amorkple, or let's say Banku, they're slightly different, on one of my previous videos. So do check it out and just make that to accompany this soup. Alternatively, just get some nice crusty bread and just eat it with it. Or better still, God, translation sometimes can be so difficult. But anyway, what I'm saying is you can enjoy it just like this. You can have it with your favorite carbohydrate. Well, you can also have it with some crusty bread. Now, whatever you do, bland food should not be part of it. You can't be following this channel and eating anything bland. No. I hope you've actually enjoyed this recipe. And if you have, please don't hesitate to share it with your family and friends. Like the video, leave a comment, try the recipe absolutely. And I would love your feedback, and you can leave your comments with your feedback. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Just click that subscribe button now. And if you don't want to miss any videos or any recipes, click onto that notification button now. Now, I am on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as Ndudu by Fafa. You can find the transcripts of this recipe on my blog, ndudubyfafa.blogspot.com, including the measurements. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you are inspired to try the recipe. Until next time, take care of you. Much love. Bye.